Soccer has, we've just finished up a single game week with a big 4-0 win over Ole Miss, who was ranked ahead of us. We were tied with them in the league. We now have moved up to a tie for first place in the SEC West. We're currently in third place in the overall standings in the SEC. Have moved up quite a few, moved up way up in the RPI rankings. So have put ourselves into a good position. Still have 6 games left in the season, which is kind of hard to believe how fast the season is moving. We'll play twice this week. Thursday, we will be in Nashville for 70s, 80 degrees temperatures on Thursday evening at Vanderbilt. And then we're back home on Sunday. We'll follow up the football game against the Pointy football game against Alabama for the round football game against Alabama on Sunday night at 6 o'clock at Ellis Field. And happy to open up for any questions.
Who would like to get us started with a coach? We'll go front row on the right side to Mark.
Coach, you guys didn't just win the other night, won fairly convincingly. How satisfying was it for you to see your team come out and handle business like that against an SEC West opponent?
Well, obviously very, very excited for the players because, I mean, they like we've shown over and over throughout the season, they've done so much to outplay their opponents and just haven't kind of stuck the fork in and finished them off. We've had our foot on their throat in every game and just have kind of let people up off the mat, and they didn't let the Rebs up off the mat this particular time, and really kind of even left a little bit of meat on the bone because it could have been worse than the 4 goals. There was a couple instances late on where we missed a couple of easy goals, hit the goalkeeper square in the nose from about 6 yards. I was worried that we had broken a couple bones in the girl's face with a shot late in the game. But overall, really happy for the players. And really, with the match on Friday, it's the first Sunday that the players had off in over a month, and so it was a well-deserved Saturday and Sunday off for the players just to kind of detox and to take a little bit of time off, because this week rather is a really, really important week for us. Both Vanderbilt and Alabama have higher RPIs than us. Alabama is a top 10 as far as their RPI, and they're coming back from winning the league last year and being in the Final Four. And Vanderbilt is a perennial team that is right up there with us as being one of the top 10, 15 teams in the country. So these are really, really important games for us. So getting that little bit of downtime after such a big win for the players, and it was a win that I think it was okay, we can do this thing. We know we can do it. We proved it to ourselves, and now let's see if we can keep this momentum going.
We'll go back behind the lights in the middle to Tyler.
You said how important these next 2 games are. Is it too early to start looking big picture and looking at the postseason and things like that, or is you kind of look at it as these are the kind of games we need to take care of to reach our goals?
Correct. That's what these games are. These are games that these are comparison games. These are the games that we're going to be looked at by the NCAA committee and by others around the country, because you can compare us to anyone in the country. We've played with and have frankly outplayed many of the best teams in the country already, and we've played one of the toughest schedules in the country. So I think we've proven that we can step on the field and play with anyone. Now these are 2 more of those teams. Can we go out and beat them? Can we go into Nashville and play on their field in a really important match and get a result? And then can we come home on a Sunday? And a Sunday in the SEC is always a tough performance game. That's a game that we refer to as a squad game, where you're going to have to use your bench, you're going to have to use your full roster, because so much is put into every game on Thursday night that by the time you get to Sunday, everyone is drained. You're gonna have to use everything that you have left, and so using your bench, using your substitutions properly is really, really important. So that's why these two are so vitally important. Obviously, the game on Sunday will also be another one of those Western games that goes into the division standings as well as to the overall standings. So that's why they're incredibly important. And with us being in first place in the West right now, in a tie, we don't hold the tiebreaker in our favor. So we got to find any way we can to get any kind of result we can.
We'll go front row on the right side to Travis.
I know the finishing last clinical touch was the thing we talked about, but you have a couple of players with high assist numbers. How important has getting that ball into them in the right spot been, and the success that they've had with that?
Yeah, I think when if people are scouting us, that's probably some of the things that they look at first. You look at what Mia Pante has been able to do, and you look at what Sammy Smith has been able to do. Just the setup that they've created for our scorers, and we've talked about that. To put it into golf analogies, we've put the ball on the green for our finishers to take care of, and we've set ourselves up so many times. And this past week, I can tell you, we were in front of goal quite a bit in practice. We'll continue to do that. We'll continue to put ourselves in that and try to, again, lower our heart rate, especially in pressure situations, because the season is kind of coming down to it now. Again, 6 games out of 20 games is all you get in the NCAA. So we're now down to our final third of the season, and this is where this is the money part of the season where we got to take care of it. So the setup people, whether you're talking about volleyball and getting yourselves ready for the kill, or whether you're talking about football and putting yourself in that position to get over the goal line, it's a vitally important part of the match.
Anything else? We'll wrap things up on the left side of TV row to Donna.
Coach, what are some of the challenges that Vanderbilt presents, and how do you plan on preparing for them just going into Wednesday?
Well, without the obvious part, Vanderbilt's filled with some really smart kids, and they're a team that plays at a different tempo than some of the rest of the league, and so understanding that sometimes we have to be comfortable in not having the ball, and the past game against Ole Miss was played at a pretty high pace and a high tempo, and it was rushed from one end of the field to the other, and it was go. The game in Nashville will probably be played at a little bit less of a tempo, which means that we have to be comfortable in not having the ball and know that it's okay not to have the ball, but letting them have the ball in places that we have to be okay with, and organized, and making it to where we allow them to play in certain spots that are not terribly dangerous to us, so that when we do have the ball, that we can make them pay for it, and we can be very dangerous in the final, especially in the final third of the field. So that'll be the cat and mouse of the game, and that'll be the kind of the chess match of the game of how can we use what they do to be beneficial to us, and they're really well coached. They've done a really good job since Darren Ambrose has been there of turning that program and making it to where every single game that they're really into, and they're really good on their set plays, and they're really good on their restarts, and they've got some pretty special athletes that can really make you pay for any mistakes that you make. So that'll be the hard thing for us is it's 90 minutes of concentration all the way through. Last thing is this past Friday was our Turn It Gold game, and every year we've been able to raise a little bit more and a little bit more, and last year was a record for us. We raised over our girls raised over $25,000 for the Turn It Gold Foundation. Turn It Gold Foundation has raised over millions of dollars. That's an organization that was started by some Aggie moms baseball, Aggie baseball has stepped in alongside us. They do their fundraiser in the spring, and really proud of our players. Our players before the match chipped in just out of their own pockets $500 just on a whim before the match, and I think that the auction just finished up at noon today. They auctioned off the jerseys that the girls wore. I think they're going to wash them first before they give them off. But I'm pretty sure that they'll break the record that was set last year. So big thanks to everybody who took part in that. They were selling replica jerseys at the stadium, as well as scarves, special make scarves for it, and I think all of those sold out. So big thanks to our promotions department, but also to everybody who took part in the fundraiser, because it's for a good cause to try to do away with juvenile cancer, and something that we really believe in, and really want to thank everybody for their participation in it. So thank you, and hopefully we'll see everybody out at Ellis. You have plenty of time to rest off the victory party from football's win on Saturday, to get out to Ellis Field on Sunday at 6 o'clock. Thanks.
Thank you, Coach.